Hey, this is Marcus. We're having a look today at the sample project, which shows a pretty cool workflow with Trapcode MIR and GEOlayers. And I'm going to show you a new feature that is the individual finalization quality. When you open this project, you got 4 GEOlayers, 4 map comps inside here. The first one is the one that you want to connect with. So when you open the project, just initialize with the first one and you're able to control this map. Yeah, do some zooming, all that stuff. The second one is a texture. The third one is a texture. I'm going to explain you how both of them work together. And the fourth one is the height map that is driving the elevation. So we got 2 pre-comps right here, which is HI. This is the height map. There's some animation inside here. And TX, that's the texture. And there's also some zooming going on here. And you may see that this little square right here is actually more detailed. Yeah, here you can see it pretty well, right? This is just to save tiles. I talk about that in the 5th tutorial, the horizon view stuff. Both of those GEOlayers are connected to the first one, which is the control layer that I'm initialized on, right? I don't need in here the watermark, and I don't need the service providers for both of them because that's just my texture for the MIR layer. What you can see on top here is like an alpha stencil. So this is doing a fade out in here. That's what is doing the fog that you can see here. So this fog is not done in MIR. This fog is done with this alpha stencil right here. Okay. Right, now that we have our pre-comps, we can have a look at, the MIR setup comp. So what do we have here? We have watermark, Bing maps, it's Bing textures. We got service providers text. That's a bit special because there's an expression on it. This expression collects like the text from GEOlayers comp 3 and GEOlayers comp 4, puts them together. We use NASA height data and of course Bing imagery, so we should attribute both of them. Next thing is a little camera rig that you can see right here. So that's a camera parented to a 3D null that does the X rotation, parented to a 3D null that does the Z rotation. One important point on those workflows is that you do the scrolling and the zooming inside of your GEOlayer, but the angle with like a little camera rig, right? I'm gonna show you this. So you see that this is animated right here. That's how this pretty cool flight to the top of Innsbruck is done. Next thing that we can see is our GEOlayers comp 1. As I told you, this is the control comp. It has a no download profile on, so it's just there to control all the other layers and to snap this label to the map. So this is done by one marker. This marker is scaled with the map and snapped to a certain geo position. It is a 3D marker, and so as you see, this moves according to the map. And I just snapped 3D text to this marker, so I just parented. Next thing to talk about, of course, is a MIR layer. You can have a look at the 4th tutorial how to set this up. In general, the size is 3000 by 3000, which is actually the size of my height map and my texture map right here. I get 700 vertices by 700 vertices. That's enough for here. the fractal has an expression on the amplitude that mountains are growing. That's also explained in the fourth tutorial. You can have a look in there. Amplitude layer is, of course, my HI comp. Yeah, there we go. The shader is Fong. I draw only the fill. Blending is off. Depth buffer should be on because we're rotating the camera around the mirror layer. And I didn't change anything in the material, but I put my texture map as a texture layer on there. And the visibility, so the fog and stuff, is not touched because we're doing the fog with our alpha stencil. Last but not least, we got a 2D layer with the gradient ramp on it. This one is just there for our sky right there. Now when we have a look at the animation right here, we get this flying to Innsbruck, where we have animated a zoom and a scroll or a pan on the GEOlayers 1 comp. So this is like doing this, and of course here, because both of them are connected. And later we have a bit of a scroll and the zoom in to the airport. That's all the animation that we do with GEOlayers. So we don't use like our camera to zoom in to the mirror layer. We won't do that because the texture detail will be getting worse and worse. And when we do it with the GEOlayer, we don't need to have like a huge and extremely detailed texture. So we only need the texture detail for the current view. Like this, we can zoom from world view to Innsbruck or something. And those keyframes right here are just there to adapt the angle of the view. You see that in the flight right here, we're going a bit more flat. So that's the X rotation. So we're going right here from 20 to 70 to look a bit more flat. And the Z rotation does, the Z angle. That's pretty much all the magic. Do the zoom and the scroll with GEOlayers, and the angle with like a little camera rig on your mirror layer. There's a new feature that can help you with like those a bit more complex projects. And when you open the prefs, you get a new checkbox right here, individual finalization quality. So I guess it's kind of like self-explanatory. If you check this, then you can set a finalization quality for every layer. So when I go to my layer 2, boom, I got this to 30% right here. Really less. That's because my layer 2 is on the outer lower detailed texture. When I go to my layer 3, there you go, this has 70% because this one is the more detailed texture. And when I go to my layer 4, reveal it, there we go, this is only 20% of finalization quality. There's no need that the height map is so detailed, right? So this can save you a lot of time because right now you can just select my first layer, hold down Alt, finalize this one, and each layer will get finalized with its own finalization quality. And this quality is saved inside the AE project, by the way. Right, so when you open it, you will get the values that you've just seen right now. Another important thing when you zoom in very far is that you need to set your project to 16 bits. Because when I set this to 8 bits, wait a moment, you see that like this looks pretty awkward. Now that's the steps in between the grayscale of our height map, right? And as soon as I set this to 16 bits, boom, those steps get way more precise, and steps in the mirror layer just disappear. You can now easily adapt this project to, for example, have a look at Mount Everest or any place of the world. So try it out.